Daí, Borgotinho na área, e comente abaixo o que vocês acham que vão estar fazendo daqui a uns 30 anos. Sabe por quê? Porque eu estou jogando agora Star Citizen. E no vídeo de hoje eu vou mostrar o replay da apresentação que serviu de fechamento da CitizenCon de 2019, falando um pouco sobre o que foi apresentado e também comentando aí sobre qual vai ser o futuro do projeto. Então, antes da gente continuar, não esqueça de se inscrever e deixar aquele joinha maroto para fortalecer o canal. Beleza? Bora lá? É agora? O hype é real, hein?
Voltei.
Voltou na hora boa, hein?
Eu tava vendo pelo celular na cozinha.
Argo mole pra 3.8.
Sim, eu escutei, tava vendo.
Aê, voltou a lenda.
Hello, gay!
So, anyway, I was just going to say, hopefully you guys have had a good day so far. There's been a lot of really cool panels. I think Tony Z's last one was pretty cool. It's showing you how we're going to have a very dynamic universe on a high level. And obviously the stuff we had with the various things like the Planet Tech V4, ships, characters, UI. So hopefully you guys got to see some of that. And the marketplace was great. You guys are always great. Well, this is the end. So hopefully we've got something special for the end for you guys. So last year, at the end of CitizenCon, I had the sort of road to release roadmap. You know, as of last year, we said, well, we've achieved 7 of those 12 that we'd set out to do, starting with the hangar and going all the way to you know, location persistence and Planet Tech. But you know, since then we delivered the OCS and band culling at the end of last year, which I think made
13 meses quando eles lançaram o OCS.
Client performance. And you know, we got a few things that we're doing this year. So if I go, so we've showed it, but Planet Tech 3.5 is what we did last year. Sorry, I'm behind on the. Can I not get this up here? Otherwise I'm gonna have to look up here. Forget about it. So we had ship purchases, ship rentals, which is actually quite cool because you don't have to buy with cash any of the ships. You can rent or purchase them with the money you're earning in the game. And we've also been shifting to quality of life staggered development, which is, you saw a little bit of that in Alpha 3.7. We're more serious about that. So we've moved the teams to 6-month cycles. We're still delivering patches every 3 months, but the teams themselves get 6 months to work on their features or their content that will go into whatever patch they're sort of designated for. And I think it gives them more time to do good work and iterate and give you a better experience. And we're slowly working on aspects.
Agora eles estão mostrando, né, o que eles conseguiram, o que eles conquistaram esse ano, né?
We're doing things like, you know, Sean was showing the sort of theaters of war where we're.
Isso é uma coisa que só vai ver em projetos crowdfunding mesmo, que é o cara, tipo, basicamente falando, olha, teu dinheiro foi feito isso aqui, isso aqui, isso aqui.
É, exatamente.
É justo, né? É justo ele dar esse feedback, né? Mostrando o quão longe a gente chegou, né?
3.7 I think is probably our most stable release today. But the game experience now is good, and then it's just improving as we go on. So, this is what's coming up next. So in 3.8, we are going to have the very first iteration of server-side OCS. So,
Nossa, olha só o que apareceu.
Caraca.
Eu falei, não falei no Hypomeda que podia aparecer? Eu falei.
Fala que vai sair no Natal.
3.8, ele já falou.
This morning was running it, and this what we're running right now is running socks, and you'll understand why it's important as we get into the demo. Assuming it doesn't crash, which you know, you never know.
Diz que já tá rodando isso aí agora.
To let you know, so it's the first iteration of.
Na verdade, eu acho que o OCS foi necessário para a Microtech.
Sim, com certeza.
Server persistence in the session of the server. So the server, whenever it it leaves an area, it streams stuff out, it remembers the state of all the items and all the stuff that was there at that time, but it doesn't persist beyond the server session. The bigger thing, which we've talked about.
Caraca, que presente de Natal, mano.
Persistence. Hang on, what happened to? Weird.
Mais ou menos, Almeida, mais ou menos.
I don't know, it's
ainda não anunciaram que vão aumentar os servidores.
I've got a black screen here and a black screen here. Anyway, so I'll talk about persistence. So,
é a ferramenta que eles precisam para aumentar, cara.
So platform persistence.
Sem isso a gente nem pode cogitar.
Which is basically a halfway house to the very full persistence, but the platform persistence is going to allow us to save off the alpha UEC that you've earned, also any items or ships that you've bought or rented in the game are going to, so they're going to get saved off to the platform in the same way that we record all your shop cash purchases. And so when a new release comes, we can re-entitle it back to the account in the same way we do for everything that you do. And the plan with that is to not have to
boa notícia pro Kleber, pro Avatar, não tem mais wipe entre patches.
Potentially even from one release to the next.
Entre patches seria quando?
Partida 3.8. O último patch vai ser para entrar na 3.8. Partida 3.8 não tem mais reset.
Ô, louco.
Mas entre patches seria tipo 3.8.1, 3.8.2, né?
Não, 3.8 para 3.9, para 4.0, para 4.0.
Não vai ter mais wipe até a beta, então.
Será?
Parece que sim.
Eu acho complicado eles afirmarem isso daí, cara.
Vai ter gente lá na arca pulando de alegria, cara.
O que aconteceu foi o seguinte, com a implementação do novo CS, eles tiveram uma nova forma de salvar os dados dentro de plataforma, exatamente como você salva as naves que você tem, entendeu? Então no final de cada patch, na verdade vai ser um defline, né? No final de cada missão que você pegar e você comprar uma nave dentro do jogo, você tiver um dinheiro dentro do jogo, ele vai ser salvo na plataforma e não mais no servidor. Entendeu?
Entendi.
Isso significa que com o reset do servidor você carrega para a plataforma para o próximo patch o que você tem nesse patch.
Show.
This morning is the social group gameplay, but that is a focus for us to make sure that the FOIP and the VoIP and the group gameplay stuff works well. It's important for us to get stuff working for, as Sean mentioned, for the Theatres of War, but just in general, playing, grouping up with your friends in the universe, doing stuff. And so that is a focus, and you'll see us iterating on that for 3.8, 3.9, and onwards. More robust missions. So we've got some stuff coming up in 3.8.
As missões mais robustas, isso vai ser muito legal, cara. Isso vai adicionar um conteúdo muito interessante para o universo do game.
We had in an ATV, we were showing a very early version of it, that will be in 3.8, and there'll be some other ones along that line of missions, and that's multi-part missions, which also what we're showing
isso tudo que ele está falando, 3.8, final do ano agora.
What we showed at the beginning and we're going to end with here, that 3.9.
Parece que o Staggered Development tem dado resultado, hein?
Then,
parece que sim.
Sometime around about middle of
ali, ó, Full Universe Persistence.
So full universe persistence, and that is
muita coisa rolando fora do roadmap, né?
Us to save everything. Period. So you can take your coffee mug that you've got in the carrack and explore on a planet and drop it in a forest, get back on your carrack, fly away, and someone else could go to that forest and see that coffee mug. Or you could come back and see
back to the forest.
Someone else has on it. And so and that iterates to every
uma caneca muito importante.
Saved off. So basically, you save the state, it goes back to a cloud database. It's what we're calling the iCache. Of course, there'll be some stuff like, we want to be smart where like people can't like stack 1,000 turtles in a place. So obviously we'll have some policies on the items.
Era justamente isso que eu tava pensando,
cara. Guarda 1.000 tartarugas no lugar.
Era justamente isso que eu tava pensando,
cara. Que tacar bocado de coisa numa caverna.
Just be like, someone came along while you weren't there and took the turtle or cleaned it up. But in general,
Mano, na moral, imagina você entra num apartamento de alguém lá no jogo e tem 1000 tartarugas empilhadas num canto de apartamento, cara.
You want to create your own base somewhere, create your own homestead. You should be able to settle down and put a base there, and it will be recorded back to the iCache, and you can come back to it, and it will be there, and it will persist. And so I think the opportunity for emergent gameplay that comes from that is going to be fantastic, because as you saw with what Tony was doing in his presentation before, we're going to have dynamic resources in the universe. We're also going to persist those. So they'll be finite, so there'll be only so much gold or hadonite or whatever it is on various moons or planets. And as they get mined out, then you'll have to find some other place to move to it. And there's an especially rich seam. I can see a group of players coming, setting up camp there and starting to mine the resources. And then I can see some other groups saying, oh, well, that's great, I want some of that. They show up, and you basically have two groups battling out, and then there's a whole business that's going to be involved in supplying more weapons or logistics or healing people or bringing consumables that people need. So I think there's going to be this dynamic, evolving system that will be incredibly interesting and compelling, and I'm really looking forward to that. And that's enabled by the full universe persistence, which is, like I said, the...
Será que o sistema de economia que foi apresentado já vai estar na 3.8?
Não.
Não, ele falou algo a longo prazo.
Não, tudo que for apresentado agora vai ser para planos futuros.
Ah, tá.
A partir de agora vai ser planos futuros.
Não tinha visto ali o quadro ali em cima.
Road further ahead.
Allows us to have a lot more players in the same area, but the work that we've done on the kind of server-side OCS, where you can change the point of view of the server arbitrarily anywhere around and save off state is exactly what you need for server meshing, because what happens in a server, if more people arrive, say, I don't know, in New Babbage, and you suddenly go, oh, we can only run 100 people or 200 people or whatever the number we can simulate on the server, and there's now 201 people, you say, okay, I'm going to spin up a second server. Here's another view onto New Babbage, and these players are on that, and you just keep on spinning up more to take on the load in areas. And so that's why we needed the server OCS and the bank culling and the full persistence, and it enables server meshing. So that's the next thing. Once we deliver the full persistence, we're actually already starting to work on the network side of what we need for the server meshing right now. But we're really excited about that, because then that's going to allow a sort of dynamic,
se eles habilitarem a persistência do universo, já vai começar a trabalhar no server meshing.
And by the way, we'll also, we don't know quite with server OCS what we'll be able to do, but we're going to start experimenting with some player counts in the future and maybe upping it, because at the end of the day, if we're not simulating the whole system and it's a smaller subset of that, we'll be able to have more players. So we'll see in the midterm if we can get more players into a server right now, but longer term server meshing is what's going to allow us to really have a fully dynamic universe.
Mas...
and then on the smaller things that we're going
Mais
to be working
qualidade de vida.
Obviously, I've talked about the quality of life. It's an ongoing effort for us. You're only starting to see the very, very beginnings of it. So we have some dedicated teams that just focus on the quality of life. We have what we call the vehicle experience team, that we're working on things to improve how it feels operating and running a vehicle.
Qualidade de vida.
I mentioned that there's a couple of things like the look ahead.
Me dá ping melhor, isso é qualidade de vida.
There's a lot more stuff to come, and also in terms of the feel of combat and all the rest of the stuff. We're going to be adding obviously more loops. I think next up we've got sort of fueling, refueling, fuel collection. Then it'll be salvage, more content obviously, and then open up a bit. We'll see what happens.
All
right.
A bigger universe. Será que vai ser outro sistema ainda?
Now we've done that, we're going to head into our demo, but at first let's just recap and we'll get Todd Pappy up here with me, wherever he is. Hello, Pappy.
Agora é a hora do gameplay.
There we go. All right.
Uma coisa boa desses painéis que apresentaram e apareceram é que não tem mais um loop específico que ele anunciou. Ele só botou more loops. Isso significa que, por causa do staggered development, todos esses arcos estão sendo trabalhados simultaneamente. Então pode ser que chegue a um patch que a gente, tipo, simplesmente tenha tudo, sabe? Que eles joguem tudo na nossa cara.
Porque a gente já tem confirmado pelo menos 3, né? A gente tem o reabastecimento,
Salvage,
já sabe,
reabastecimento.
Salvage e Bounty Hunter.
Isso.
Então a gente no mínimo tem 3 e botar esses 3 de uma só vez já muda o jogo completamente.